Hello again. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how you can go ahead and plan what classes you're going to take for future semesters. So in the last video, we talked about degree audits. Next week, I'm actually going to show you a little bit more about like how to register for classes and just the logistics of that, how to look at what time your classes will be. But this one is just going to show you how you're planning out what to take for all of your semesters. So I'm going to share my screen here again, and you should be able to see the course matrix. And I'm using building as my example for this. So, you know, if you are a different emphasis area, just use whatever emphasis you are going to be. So what I like to do with this is start out by marking off anything that you already have completed. So I'm going to, you know, print this out, do whatever you want, however you choose to do it is totally fine by me, but this is just what I have found to be helpful for students. So let's say that you already had your English 150 done, maybe you tested out of that. Maybe you did Project Lead the Way or something for graphics, and let's say that you also had like an AP course for psych or just, you know, something like that. So I've crossed those out already because they are already done. Now what I'm going to do next is go in and make a note of what I'm registered for this semester. So I'm going to do that by saying, what semester is it? So right now I'm in learning community. I'm actually going to pretend that I'm in pre-calc. So I'm in math 143, so that's not even on here yet. I might just write that on the side so I kind of know where I'm at with that. But with my pre-calc, I'm also able to take chemistry. I'm in engineering 101, which is kind of part of the learning community class. And then since I'm not able to do calc or engineering problem solving yet, I decided to do English 150 and library. Let's see, how many credits am I at now? So that's 13 credits. And maybe I also decided to do econ this semester. Oh, I don't know why that one is smaller. Okay, so this is kind of my starting point where I can see what I already have done and what I'm registered for this semester. Now I'm going to kind of go through and take a look at what do I intend to take next semester. So I'm going to, next semester I will be in calc, provided all goes well with calc 1, or pre-calc I mean. And once I'm in calc, I can do engineering problem solving. And in the spring, I will also have the spring semester of Connie Learning Community. Now I'm doing this on purpose to show that it's not always as clean and cut and dry as it looks on here. You know, ideally a student would come in and this would be their first semester, this would be their second semester, and so on. It doesn't always go that way. It totally depends on where you're starting, you know, assuming that you're passing all of your classes. Transfer credit comes into play. So there are all kinds of things that can kind of skew this a little bit. And that's why I want to show you how we can plan it out so that you're making note of all those different things. So let's say also in the spring, I might do maybe my diversity elective, you know, something like that. So the other thing to keep in mind with this is if you choose to have a minor or anything like that, those classes aren't listed here. So you would need to factor those classes in as well. So the reason I'm showing you, you know, how to preliminary plan out your courses here is one of the assignments that you have coming up. First draft is due coming up here pretty soon, and then we'll have a final draft right before registration, will be to actually map out what you're taking each semester. So it's helpful to map it out on that course matrix first. Let me see if I can make it so both of these show up on my screen at the same time. If you map it out on that course matrix first, it's going to make it a little bit easier when you come in here and say, okay, it's the fall of 20, and I'm going to note what I'm taking. This will actually calculate all the credit hours for you, which is really nice, and can factor in things like if you are in pre-calc or something like that that doesn't show up on this, you can have it factor in over here. So we've got chem, let's see, put in everything that I said that I had over there. Engineering 101 isn't really any credits. So you are going to fill this out for every single semester. This is going to kind of let you take ownership of what you plan to take, but also allow us to check it and see, are you planning on taking things in the right order, at the right time? Your peer mentor will have some valuable advice for you about like, hey, you don't want to take those together. They also know some things about, for example, Connie 322 only being offered in the fall, or there are a couple classes that have time conflicts. And so they'll be able to help you take a look at that and see, is your plan good? Are there things that need to change, etc. Just because you're doing this in Learning Community right now doesn't mean that this is the end all be all of academic plans. You're actually going to be looking at this with your advisor. So with me for a while, and then eventually with a faculty advisor, you'll be looking at this every single semester to make sure that things are still good, to make sure that nothing has changed. This is really valuable for helping you plan out your future classes and helping us make sure that you're taking everything at the right time in the right order. So I will have this assignment sheet posted in Canvas here shortly, so that you can actually get started with planning out what you plan to take. Your peer mentor will be going over this with you. And then, like I said, next week, the week of the 22nd, I'll be showing you a little bit about how you actually register for classes and how you can plan, you know, when those classes are going to be offered and what your schedule is actually going to look like for the spring. So we will get into that before your registration date. But before we get into that, we need to make sure that you know what classes you're going to try to sign up for.